Are you ready to reclaim the health of your gut in 2024? In this video, I'll share 10 strategies that have worked for me personally and hundreds of our clients to help you enhance your digestive health and make this your healthiest year yet. My name is Bella, and if you're new here, I'm a functional nutritionist and the founder of the Functional Gut Health Clinic, where we help clients overcome GI symptoms and take back control of their gut health. If you're struggling with poor gut health and maybe your symptoms like bloating, gas, constipation, or diarrhea are so much worse after the holidays, and you just can't stomach the thought of another year of being controlled by your gut, then you're in the right place. But you might be wondering whether. These are strategies that you can implement on your own. Where should you start when taking back control of your gut health? And most importantly, how do you move past band-aid solutions to more of a root cause focus on healing? Well, stick around and we'll make sure we cover all of this and a lot more tips to take back control of your gut health and lay the foundation for a more vibrant 2024. Let me just start by saying that elimination diets can work, but if they're not done right, they can cause more harm than good to our gut microbiome in the long run. When we run food sensitivity testing, the most common food triggers that show on labs are these, so get a pen to write them down. They are eggs, gluten, dairy, nuts, and legumes. For clients who don't run food sensitivity tests and instead do an elimination diet, these are the foods that we get them to start with. If you struggle with IBS-type symptoms and you have a compromised digestive system, then it's highly likely that one or more of these is a trigger food for you too. The easiest and cheapest way to find out is to stop eating all of the foods you suspect might be a trigger for you for 1 week, see if you experience an improvement in symptoms, and then slowly add them back in, one new food or food group per week. Take note of any symptoms that you experience, whether that's gut symptoms like bloating, gas or stool changes, or fatigue, sinus or stuffy nose, brain fog, aches and pains. It really varies from person to person. A big mistake that we see that I want you to know about is people becoming really reliant on increasingly restrictive diets to manage their symptoms. This can really hurt your microbiome in the long term and make some symptoms worse, not better. This was the trap I fell into on my own healing journey, and it's definitely something that I emphasize with clients so that they can avoid doing the same. I should also mention that experimenting with food triggers probably won't help all that much until you've mostly crowded out any remaining highly processed and sugary foods, which are really inflammatory for most people, and you want to replace them with real, whole, and nutrient-dense foods. So instead of eating processed foods on the regular, try and add in more protein, healthy fats, fruits, and vegetables as a way of crowding it all out. Give your body the space it needs to do its healing thing. With this next tip, slow and steady always wins the race. Introduce them too quickly and in too high amounts, and your symptoms will probably explode. But when incorporated into your diet properly, they're a great way to help repopulate the gut and to improve the balance of beneficial species in your microbiome. Yes, I'm talking about fermented foods. Good quality, organic, and additive-free yogurt, sauerkraut, kefir, kombucha, miso, the microalgae like spirulina and chlorella, tempeh, and kimchi are a few food examples of ferments that we use with our clients, and they're now gaining popularity. Try and incorporate a small amount of at least one type of fermented food each day to boost your gut health. So we typically ask clients to start with a fermented vegetable juice. So sauerkraut juice is a really good choice. Start with a teaspoon and slowly increase each day until you can take a tablespoon. Then you want to move on to the fermented vegetable. We're aiming for 1 heaped tablespoon here. And once you master sauerkraut, then you can move on to the next type of ferment for diversity. Have you ever gone to bed with a massively bloated tummy or abdominal pain and then you woke in the next morning with neither? That is the healing power of rest. And it's because physical repair and regeneration of the body, and especially the gut, happen while we're asleep. Setting up a sleep schedule where you limit screen time and blue light exposure at least 1 hour before bed is a great place to start. Create a bedtime routine that helps you to relax, clear your mind, and get to sleep quickly. You might like to try reading, listening to calming music, journaling, or meditation. Then finally, ensure that your room is really comfortable, cool, and dark, and also quiet. And you want to be in bed by about 10 p.m. This is the perfect recipe for gut healing sleep. While regular exercise is a common New Year's resolution, it could actually be making your gut health worse. As my own gut health started to unravel in my 20s, I thought that hitting the gym 5 to 6 times a week was the perfect antidote. In fact, I put so much added stress on my body that my gut health spiraled faster and deeper, to the point that there were days that I couldn't get out of bed or do work because my tummy was just ruling my life. And the science is pretty clear. If you're trying to heal your damaged gut, exercise only works if it's not an added stressor. That means exercise should make you feel energized, not exhausted afterwards. So if you're working on healing your gut and you haven't been doing much exercise in the past, just try moderate exercise, the stuff that will improve gut function according to the science. Moderate exercise can be walking, swimming, Pilates, yoga practices that focus more on the stretching and breathing and postural control. But really, the best thing that you can do is just listen to your body and don't overdo it with the exercise. Well, the doctor who told me that my IBS was all in my head was wrong on so many levels. He might have accidentally been onto one aspect that is important. So while he was probably looking to gloss over the fact that he had no idea what was going on and causing my symptoms, recent research has highlighted the strong link between our gut and our brain. It's called the gut-brain axis. It turns out that the health of our gut can impact our mood and brain function, and that our mood can also impact our gut symptoms. It took some serious neuroscience to discover that getting nervous butterflies in our tummy is based on actual physiology. Because poor gut health can bring about brain symptoms like worry, low mood, and anxiety, it's important to incorporate stress management techniques into your day. While working on our gut health will reduce mental health load in the long run, we have to give our brains some relief along the way too. Options that our clients love to use are meditation, deep breathing, journaling, watching a funny movie or something uplifting, listening to music that they love, or EFT, which is Emotional Freedom Technique. It's a tapping strategy. The trick is finding an option for stress management that works for you and your lifestyle. These techniques move the body away from the sympathetic nervous system stress response of fight, flight, and freeze to a parasympathetic nervous system response, allowing your body to rest, digest, repair, and heal. Unless you're living in a bubble, our modern world and lifestyle expose us to non-stop streams of toxic exposure daily. Everything from our water, our skincare products, air pollution, and pesticides on our food. These toxins from our environment can contribute directly to gut dysfunction. They irritate the gut lining, which acts like a second skin inside the body and tries to stop harmful toxins entering our bloodstream. If the load is too high or our gut lining is leaky, these toxins can fire up our nervous system and lead to ongoing high levels of inflammation day in and day out until something breaks. And while it's impossible to eliminate our toxic exposure completely, your goal for 2024 should be to reduce the overall load. My favorite place to start is eating organic foods where you can. This is going to reduce your pesticide exposure. Organic food is often expensive and hard to source, so just focus on the dirty dozen first. And these foods are the ones with the highest levels of residual pesticides. This list is different in different countries and changes every year, but it typically includes fruits and vegetables that bugs love to eat and don't have a thick skin that we peel off. So things like berries, leafy greens, and stone fruits. And if you're really up for a challenge, swapping all of your personal care and home cleaning products to natural options is another massive change that you can make on the way to limiting your exposure to toxins. So things like soaps, shampoos, makeup, as well as washing detergents, surface sprays, and even air fresheners if you use those. Without antibiotics, I'd probably have died many times over. They're also a key reason why my microbiome was almost completely wiped out and my immune system was just not even functioning for many years. For me, they were a short-term lifesaver, but long-term IBS, fatigue, weight gain, food sensitivities, hair loss, brain fog, low mood, so on, like in the aftermath. It's really a love-hate relationship when it comes to antibiotics. I know they can be a last resort lifesaver, but overuse of antibiotics is having a devastating impact on our gut health and contributing to the rise in chronic conditions. There is a growing body of science that links a lack of diversity in gut-friendly bacteria to conditions like IBD, asthma, obesity, allergies, leaky gut, depression, autoimmune conditions, and just countless others. Antibiotics not only target bad or opportunistic bacteria that have overgrown, but they can also have a really damaging effect on the number and diversity of your good gut bacteria. This can cause serious problems because of the important role that a balanced gut microbiome plays in digestion, immune defense, and the synthesis of vitamins like Bs and vitamin K. So this year, focus on building your immunity so that you aren't so susceptible to infection, and consider natural antimicrobial alternatives for low-grade infections before jumping straight to the big guns of antibiotics and potentially setting your gut health back another year. And if you need the big guns, make sure that you take prebiotics and probiotics to give your microbiome a fighting chance. Just make sure that they're good quality. Which brings me to, please stop taking poor quality supplements. They don't work and they're a waste of money. I've read many articles saying natural supplements don't work, including probiotics, but what people often fail to realize is that the problem is most commonly brand specific. What I mean is, specific probiotic strains are extremely well researched and evidence-based, and we see them working with our clients to relieve symptoms. But the generic, cheap brand that you brought from the supermarket, they're probably not going to work. In a market that's not very well regulated, it's even more important to use reputable brands. You get what you pay for, so don't let some clever marketing take your cash without any noticeable improvement in your gut health. But the problem is most high-quality supplements are practitioner only, meaning that you can't access them unless you're working with a doctor or a nutritionist or some other qualified practitioner. As an online clinic, we use a platform called FullScript that stocks most of the top practitioner-only brands for our clients. We also have it open to anyone from the USA to access, and we give everyone the same client discount of 20% off the normal retail price, so that good quality supplements are accessible to more people. I'll leave a link down in the description if you're based in the US and you're interested in accessing practitioner-only products at wholesale prices. If you're from another country, we like to use platforms like iHerb to access better quality products online. Some people with gut health symptoms can see a massive improvement by removing inflammatory foods and food triggers, managing their exercise, sleep, and stress better, and just taking a few digestively supportive supplements. Unfortunately, I was not one of these people, and if I was, I would have taken me a year maybe rather than a decade to take back control of my gut. For me, the big shift happened when I took my first functional health tests. They were a stool test and a SIBO breath test, and they totally changed the trajectory of my whole life. They gave me answers to what was going on inside my gut, causing symptoms. And as a science lover, I realized that these labs could be a game changer for millions of people struggling like I was. And that is how my clinic and the work we do was born. The paradigm shift for me was that IBS is not a single disease with a single cause. It's a whole host of different and identifiable imbalances. We just need to do the right tests and take a thorough health history to find out what those imbalances are for different people. For me, it was SIBO, so that small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, multiple parasites from all the food poisoning from travel I'd done, C. diff and other opportunistic bacteria, candida overgrowth, and a really leaky gut. Once I got over the shock of just how messed up my gut was, I was pretty excited by all the healing opportunities that I had to feel better. And how did I get better? Spoiler alert, it wasn't antibiotics. And it wasn't just one thing either. It was a series of lifestyle changes that were turbocharged by the help of a functional nutritionist, which is what inspired me to go back to school and to get the knowledge I needed to help thousands just like me. So what did my practitioner do that turbocharged my healing? A protocol. A what now? A protocol of natural supplements, a diet that reduced my symptoms. It was SCD low FODMAP at the time because that's the best we had back then, and permission to stop killing myself at the gym and give my body the space it needed to do some serious rest, stress reduction, and healing. You can try and experiment with protocols yourself, But what we find is that the generic protocols that aren't tailored to individuals don't work all that well and end up costing people a lot of money and wasted time. This is where, once you've got a lot of the other foundational steps sorted, working with a functional gut health expert is worth the investment. In the last 10 years, I've grown my practice to have 6 full-time practitioners, helping clients take back control of their gut health. So we know it works, and the transformation we see in many of our clients is incredible and well worth the effort that it takes. My goal for you all this year is to set an intention to reclaim your gut health and then start taking action. We've discussed lots of strategies you can use to work on yourself. We also have a bunch of free and paid content on our website to help you take action if you need it. We'll leave links in the description to our free e-guide on clearing constipation, our paleo meal planning guide, as well as the constipation masterclass, and even how you can work with our team if you're ready to really turbocharge your own gut healing journey. You deserve vibrant health.